Hi, my name is Doug Wilson and welcome to Developing a Photographer's Eye, the second video in this series about composition. Last time we talked about using contrast to improve the composition of your images. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at balance, which is closely related to contrast. Balance is the very foundation upon which all composition begins. Balance resolves tension, or put another way, balance provides a sense of harmony, even equilibrium to all the elements and forces in a composition. When we refer to balance in a picture, you might find it helpful to imagine a fulcrum superimposed on the image surface. This is a very real way of understanding balance in composition, because the eye and the mind are always looking to achieve balance. Try thinking of the center of the picture as the midpoint, and adding too much weight to one side or the other might upset the balance. Balance is harmony, it's unity, it's resolved tension. Balance is that condition which we intuitively seek in a picture, and when we find balance in a composition, we often say that we find the image pleasing. Remember, balance is intuitive. Balance can refer to any of the elements in a picture, and in fact, balance is all about relationships between elements. Balance can be achieved by one dominant element in the center of a picture, like this dockside image. Here we automatically make the center of the frame a reference point against which we measure balance. We refer to this type of composition as being symmetrically balanced, or static. Both sides of the center point have equal weight. The second kind of balance opposes weights or forces or elements that are unequal, and when you do this, you add life or tension to an image. If you imagine that weigh scale again, you can achieve balance by having a heavy weight close to the center balanced by a small weight further from the center. Here's the same image we used to illustrate the contrast in the last video, but looking at it again with respect to balance, we have one heavier element, the detail of the totem on the left, balanced by the larger view of the totem to the right and in the distance. We refer to this as dynamic balance. Similarly, one can use more space to balance a single object, as in this photograph of the boy. These are relatively simple circumstances, but in reality our image making is not that simple. And I'm not suggesting that every time you take a picture you impose a fulcrum over the viewfinder, but the weigh scale analogy is a starting point. While the brain seeks harmony or balance, the brain does actually like to work for that balance. Symmetrically balanced images are comfortable to look at, but they are called static for a reason. Whereas dynamically balanced images require the eye and the brain to do a little work to achieve that sense of balance. And when we tend to find dynamically balanced images as being more interesting because they require the viewer to spend more time working out the details of that balance. Once again, balance in a composition is an intuitive experience, and using the fulcrum or weigh scale analogy is a good starting point. Ultimately, our images are not always so simple, and will therefore require that you pay close attention to all of the elements in the photograph to achieve balance. Next, we're going to take a look at some Gestalt principles of design, but in the meantime, thanks for watching.